never buy. Know why? Cause I write the songs that the whole world sing. I don't know about y'all, but every night I swing.
Still here, you're rocking with the best. Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks.
Welcome to Late Breakfast. I'm Taurian B.
And I'm First Class Regg.
What's up, guys? This week we are going to talk about Jermaine Dupri calling out Puff King Daddy III, Sean Combs, Mr. Sean John, New York City, Mr. Brought You Biggie Smalls, Mr. Beat a Court Case, Mr. Had J-Lo after she had the green dress on, Mr. He lost Cassie and now he's dating every hot young thing in the music industry, Combs.
I'm not calling that nigga King Daddy. I'll tell you that. But yes, all those things. And JD called him out, and it looked like, I'll tell you my initial reaction. When JD put it up on the timeline, I saw it, and then I saw Puff's reaction to it. And at first I was like, yo, Puff is right. You know, you think about his accolades and how far back he's been in this shit. I mean, JD too. But when you think about Puff and all the shit that he's had his hands in over the years, it just looks like such a fucking like landslide, right? But then I start thinking in the structure of Verzuz, and then I start thinking about how the crowd would react to certain shit, and I start thinking about the way that Puff responded. It automatically made JD the underdog, and Verzuz loves to champion the underdog. So I think he has a lot of things in his favor that people aren't giving him, you know, credit for. And I love JD. Like, JD is one of my favorite producers, especially like from my childhood. But when it comes to Puff, we know the catalog is different.
All right, I'm going to keep this really quick and brief what I have to say, right? Because I don't want to divulge on it. There were maybe 15 years ago, Jermaine Dupri jumped out the window and he challenged Dr. Dre. Mm-hmm. And that didn't end well for him, right? So and Dr. Dre was disrespectful. Puff is his friend. So Puff is, you know, they throwing jabs and everything like that. But my personal opinion is that Jermaine Dupri is very, very stuck on something that doesn't matter. He's stuck on the fact that he's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the fact that like he has songwriting credits with Mariah Carey, Usher, Escape, Bow Wow, Criss Cross, the Brat wrote her own shit, but like with them, you know, and a lot of other R&B acts. And I understand that.
Okay, I'll let you finish first.
What I'm just saying is just that, like, you know, there's certain songs that Puff have that are like cultural, like that are like songs that like people will be playing for forever, right? Like I get it. Like there was a joke, like, well, and we laughed at it because Puff was like, I don't hear your shit at weddings. And he was like, nigga, you never heard Let's Get Married? Right? Yeah. And it's really funny, but it's just the fact that like Jermaine Dupri's an afterthought. And I get that he's probably going to prove a lot of people wrong, like, oh shit, I didn't know he had that. But that doesn't mean he's gonna win. That's my point. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I think a lot of it has to do with presence. And I think it's because Diddy's also been forever present since the moment he got on. Like we've never gone more than 6 months to a year without seeing Diddy ever. Like maybe that's the longest break we've you know not heard from Diddy in some way or another. Jermaine Dupri's kind of played the background for such a long time, and I think it's just I don't think when's the last time we've really seen JD?
Jermaine Dupri's ever present, and to like he's always, because you got to think. I hate this, and I think our viewers understand this. Yes, I lived in Atlanta at one point, so Jermaine Dupri is always ever present, like on my radar, right? So I guess too, like a person that's like more so based in New York, he might not be, but Jermaine Dupri is pretty much like the mayor of Atlanta. Like I know a lot of people might think of like other they think Outkast, they think T.I., they think Gucci Mane, but like Jermaine Dupri is kind of like the resident mayor of the city. That's why like when a lot of things happen, like he's front and center and he's there. So like he pretty much is the Puff of Atlanta, of Georgia, right?
Got to talk about that billboard.
Oh yeah, I mean he had the billboard in Atlanta, said So Def, and then when BMF happened, they bought that shit and it got taken down.
But it was like, I feel like a lot of people
turned on that nigga like that quick.
But I feel like a lot of people don't even know that aspect of that, or the BMF part of it. A lot of people still think about that billboard. So Def. I mean, shit, I've only combined in my whole life been in Atlanta for like a couple weeks maybe, but like I still know about that billboard. Like I have no ties to it.
But what I mean is more it's hip hop is a very much what have you done for me lately culture. And what has he given us that he's been present for, that we've actively seen his face
People
recently?
say that about Puff.
We see Puff all the time. Puff has a very active social media presence. You just see him around. You know he throws these parties every year. So every time of that same time of year, you're going to hear about the all-white party. You're going to hear about certain things. Puff is
because you're a native New Yorker by way of Puerto Rico. But so certain the things that are on your radar, you'll see. But Jermaine Dupri does the same thing in Atlanta. He throws an all-white party every 4th of July.
Okay.
And whenever people come to Atlanta, if it's your first time, he's pretty much the person you meet, and he takes you to Magic City. Like he's pretty much like, that's what I'm saying. Like he's that person. Puff don't even live in New York anymore.
I know, but so let's put it this way. Let's say you're from Cali and you have, no connection like that to either. Who do you think you hear of more often of the two?
Well, you're gonna hear of Puff because he lives in California.
All right, so
but not even because of that. As a cultural figure, Puff is just a bigger cultural figure. Like his ties are crazy. You're tied to the greatest rapper of all time, right? And you produced and had your hands in his first 2 albums, which were classics, back to back. So like his category, like is no comparing. You got to dig a little deeper and be a music lover in a certain sense to know the type of shit that JD's been a part of. And they just both carry themselves differently.
But I think if JD goes into a Verzuz playing the underdog, coming back as a counterpuncher, I think he has a better chance than a lot of people are giving him credit for.
He does. And overall, I just think a Verzuz with these two would be more fun than a Verzuz with Dre and Puff.
I think that to me, Puff wouldn't lose, but I believe to the masses, Puff would lose to Dr. Dre for sure.
Yeah, because I just don't think
Puff, like it's more fun.
I don't think and I don't think it's a well balanced battle between Dre and Puff. Like Puff can dip into many different facets. Like he has many different styles, like and many different artists that he's written for. Dre does too, but Dre is mostly like rap. And Puff can tap into a lot of different shit.
There's a lot of Interscope records where Dre like added drums for Fergie. I know that's who gives a fuck, but like there were a lot of artists that came through Interscope. It was kind of like Jimmy Iovine would come and be like, "Yo, I need drums added to this pop record." So it's a lot of credits that Dre has that we don't even like 100% like know about, but pretty much like I don't know if he would do all that, but like there's like R&B records that I know like it's a couple Tony Braxton records that he did, and obviously Truth Hurts, but there's a couple records that he did
Blackstreet
and Blackstreet, right? There's a couple records that he did where we don't really think about it, but Dre did do it. But let's get back to Puff and Jermaine Dupri. So I know the watchers are like confused, like am I Puff or am I JD? I'm Puff. But the thing is, right, with Jermaine, he has songs from Mariah Carey and Usher, like in that year, and like I want to say like that year alone that I think it was 2 years back to back, 05, 06, 04, 05. Emancipation, the Confessions album and Emancipation of Mimi to combine are like at 30 million records sold, right? Mm-hmm. So I think Jermaine is going by that, and he's just like, yo, I sold this many records, this and that. And with Verzuz, that don't matter. The fact that Jermaine Dupri thinks that Victory is a mediocre record is fucking blasphemy.
He's out his mind.
And I saw people arguing about that on the timeline, like, yo, it's your New York ears. And it's like, no, I wasn't nowhere near New York when Victory came out. And I knew the impact of that shit. The video was like a fucking blockbuster. Like it was just great.
Victory is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Great fucking song.
He premiered that shit like how Michael Jackson used to premiere shit on Fox, the way the Victory video premiered, right? I just think that there are certain records that Puff has up his sleeve that like just automatically wins, no matter what you play against. That's Flavor in Your Ear, that's Juicy, that's Real Love by Mary J. Blige, right?
She has a couple.
Been Around the World, the original one, not the second one, right? Then you got like he has so many.
24 Hours to Live.
Yeah, like 24 Hours to Live is a good one, but I don't think 24 Hours to Live is like the record like that, like shut shit down. And then people forget this. He produced a lot on Kim's debut album. right? So he has that. Then he has tracks that he's given to Jay-Z on Volume 1 and on American Gangster. Jermaine Dupri as well. He did Success.
He got executive producer credit on American Gangster, didn't he?
Yeah, co-executive producer.
Yeah.
And I just find it really hard to believe that Jermaine Dupri, because Puff doesn't press a button or anything like that. I mean, he's a maestro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he comes in, he has his team of the hitmen, you know what I'm saying? Derek D. Angeletti, Stevie J, the rest of the guys, and he tells them what he wants to hit. Like, to me, that's a producer. You don't have to press a button to be a producer, in my opinion. You know, Puff a songwriter. I'm pretty sure it's certain concepts that he's come up with, but I just wholeheartedly feel that Jermaine Dupri just really, really, really. I get what he's doing, and he should be doing this, and he should be speaking up for himself, and he is in the Songwriters Hall of Fame along with Hove, Missy Elliott, and I'm missing somebody, ain't I? There's one other person that's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame with him, but I forget other hip hop.
Yeah.
But you know,
did LL make it?
No, he did not. He's up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I just think, you know, Jermaine has a little man complex, and like he just wants to get his recognition.
I think he does want to get his recognition. This is probably the best platform for him to do it. I just don't like counting them out, man. I mean, Escape got some shit.
Let's throw some songs you think that Jermaine might play. I want to hear
that he might play.
Yeah. What you think?
He's got to play Jump. We got to get certain ones that we know he's going to play out the way.
Well, he's going to play Always Be My Baby. I know that.
Yes.
Mariah. You got to play You Make Me Wanna, Nice and Slow, My Way. Like, he got to play Not Tonight from Kim, because I know Puff is going to play some Kim stuff. So he got to play Not Tonight. That beat is fire. He can play, I don't know, give me a Puff
Let's
record.
Get Married.
Oh yeah, well of course he gonna be like, yeah, you never heard this nigga.
When niggas, yo JD, when niggas is getting married or there's a special event or people want to dance, have a good time, I don't hear none of your shit. You never heard you never hear Let's Get Married at a wedding? Get the fuck out of Atlanta. Are you serious? Oh, you trying to make it Atlanta? Get the fuck out of New York!
Listen, let me get one more.
What are you talking about?
This nigga. This shit play everywhere, nigga. He could
Where
play
the Party At?
Yeah, of course. He could play Where the Party At, even though I don't really like it.
Oh, I think they like me.
You think he gonna play? You gonna step on my J's?
No, I hope not. I hope not.
You think he gonna play? You think they like me? The White Tee song.
The remix?
You think he gonna play Welcome to Atlanta with Luda? He has to play that. That's a staple song, right?
Yeah. He gotta play that.
He gotta play Money in the Thing. He gotta play Money in the Thing.
He's gonna play the remix. I think they're gonna have a kumbaya moment at the end when he plays the remix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the crazy thing is Puff has the best verse on that song.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
That nigga performed that video on top of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
come on, man. You mean
does.
to tell me Jermaine Dupri couldn't do some magnificent shit and like be at Turner Field while it was still open, or fucking be out there? Like he should have filmed that shit in the middle of a fucking Atlanta Falcons game. He shouldn't have let Puff do that to him like that on his own fucking record.
Yeah.
That Puff was laying claim over JD since that fucking video. Are you fucking kidding me? Like he really stunted on that nigga. He said, "Yo, I need to film this video in front of Madison Square Garden."
Did we name Money in the Thing?
Yeah, I did. I
Yes.
said it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna do Money in the Thing. He's probably gonna beg Hove to pull up. That's his trump card.
That'd be great.
Yo, when he did the So Def reunion, and he had to like convince Hove, and like Hove was in Atlanta for that weekend, and they went to Rug Spot for the after party and everything like that. Like Jermaine Dupri looked like he really, really felt like accomplished, like he did that. Yo,
Yeah, because I've never seen Hove perform that song.
He's performed it with him like in the 90s when it was like that time when Hov was still wearing silk shit. So if y'all, let me ask y'all a question. If y'all had a choice to go to the Bad Boy reunion tour or the So Def reunion tour, which tour you going to?
I'm absolutely going to the Bad Boy.
I
reunion.
wouldn't go. Never mind. I'll go to the Bad Boy.
LaShawn, which one you going to? Okay, but I know your answer. Rob, which one you going to? Thank you. Eli, which one you going to?
Take that.
Thank you. All right, so it's unanimous, right? So we already know what tour we would rather see. So a lot of people are just saying, like, I want to hear these hits. I'm sorry, I don't want to see.
You ain't giving it up for Hood Hop?
Oh yeah. Is he going?
I don't think he
is
did
he
the
going?
hood hop beat though.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't do the hood hop beat. I don't think he did the tipsy beat either. But I mean, I think that Jermaine Dupri should be allowed. If the artist was a so deaf artist, I think he should be allowed to do it because I don't think Puff produced Black Rob's entire album. I don't think that he produced Biggie's entire. Puff didn't produce Biggie's entire album.
Well,
he executive produced it.
Yeah. You're gonna hear. I forgot. You're gonna hear "Sleeping in My Bed" remix. That shit is. That's a bop. But then
that wins that round.
Yeah,
that round that wins.
You think it wins? All right. So the "Sleeping in My Bed" remix. Let me think of what remix.
Just the momentum of when it.
So
starts.
what if it's okay? So it's the "Sleeping in My Bed" remix, right? But then what if Puff plays "Flavor in Your Ear" remix? What if that's what goes against that song?
I'm going to "Sleep in My Bed" remix.
Really?
That shit is
only because "Flavor in Your Ear" remix is just so. I've heard it so many. It's one of those songs to me that you hear so many times that you're like, I love it. It's amazing. I respect it, but I'm good.
Yeah, you can't tell me I'm not a New Yorker because I never saw a white and green Metro card. If you tell me that "Flavor in Your Ear" is going to lose, I'm sorry.
Flavor in Your Ear.
Well, you weren't living in New York at the time, so you weren't a New Yorker at the time.
I was living in New York.
You were in Atlanta. You didn't have a public school Metro card ever?
No, I didn't need one, nigga. My school was down the block. I walked to school.
Oh, and you didn't scam nobody for one either?
I didn't need to, nigga. My mother had a car.
Privilege.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he could play "Fallin' too, which is one of Hov's best songs.
I know I shouldn't have did that.
He produced that.
And then the Puff. No, he didn't do a million. Did he? Nah, he did 1,000,001 Questions.
JD? No,
I'm talking about Puff didn't do 1,000,001 Questions. No,
nah,
I'm sorry, that's Primo. Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. That's Primo. What the fuck did he do on Volume? He did I Know a Girl's
No,
Like.
isn't that Kid Capri?
Nah, that wasn't Kid Capri. It was Primo.
But yeah, he would have to like.
You're right.
I feel like for this battle to be entertaining, Puff can't do petty shit like that. You can't play. If he's going into his R&B bag, go into your R&B bag.
Nigga, if I'm trying to
It's
win,
tit for
nigga, I'm
tat.
playing. Like to me, I'm looking at it as Jermaine Dupri's playing the best remix he's ever made. Puff has to like his Puff's claim to fame remix, unless he plays a special delivery remix. But he don't even need to play the special delivery remix. He's gonna play the original special delivery.
But if he plays an R&B song,
He has
if Jermaine
R&B
Dupri-
remixes that he could play.
Okay,
He'll play Only
He
You
can play the Honey remix.
or Honey. Like I don't see Diddy doing that. I see Diddy responding in turn.
I don't know, man. I just hope that Diddy is wearing his best silk when we see this versus. If it happens,
I think
I would love for Puff to come on in a shiny suit.
In all fairness, I think Puff would win, but I just don't like niggas talking about Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, I think that's
who
what
got
it
the
is
better
more.
logo, the Afro Man or the Baby?
Oh, the Baby.
Yeah, the Baby.
The Bad Boy Baby.
Lil
Shout
Ferg.
out to Big Ferg.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
he designed that.
that's a better.
You want to
logo.
know what's funny? Like if Jermaine Dupri wanted to be petty, you know that Lil
Not
Jon.
the Baby. Fuck that.
Yeah,
nigga.
yeah, not the Baby. Yeah. Damn,
Reg. All right. Reg's been running. Reg's been doing push-ups. He's like, okay.
Nah. So what's crazy is that Lil Jon used to be a social deaf artist.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
That's like a
Very
Lano
early
Lord,
on.
right? So then like he left, but like he still has that tie. So it's like Jermaine, like it could be like some WWE shit, like tag in, like yo, come on, and like this is like since you doing any, like niggas you just in the studio for and shit. Jermaine could easily be like, yo, this song by Lil Jon was recorded in my studio.
Mm-hmm. He could.
He
He could also play some Chingy, that Pulling Me Back song with Tyrese. Can't front on that one.
Yeah, and then Puff is gonna play I Need a Girl.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
Yo, every time, bro. Like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But
Part 1 or 2 gets that out of there.
I was thinking, both of them.
I feel like this is definitely gonna be a versus that we enjoy. I definitely feel like it's gonna start a conversation. But yeah. Let's wrap this up, guys. I think it's consensus.
He could play Out of My System.
But
All right.
another thing though,
About Bow Wow?
specifically about this though, that we I think has to be said is it makes the most sense since of the last few verses they've done. These matchups don't really make sense sonically. I get why people are trying to put them together on paper, but this is the most sonically, like, it makes sense with the people involved, music, and a good time, and the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more deserved than what they've given us for a while.
Okay. Well, nice way to take us out, Danny. I'm Taurian B.
I'm First Class Reg.
And we will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching.